What's up guys, this is Pratham here, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can start a marketing agency in 2025. And yeah, it's been a long time. I've been on YouTube. It's been, I guess, maybe a couple of years actually. So I'm excited. I've made a few points. So primarily, let me tell you one thing. Primarily, so now that I've made this video, like, you will see this kind of knowledge other people are not giving. So that's why I thought, like, to come on this YouTube video and to give you some knowledge, because, and I'm going to come on YouTube and I'm going to give you more knowledge, but on this video I'm going to give you like a lot of information which you would, it's pretty good. Like, if you're a beginner, 9 years ago, even I was once a beginner, and I was also scrolling through YouTube, and at that time I came across Ty Lopez, and and that's how I started my own marketing agency back in 2016. And it has been incredible. It has been really great. I changed my life, and in this space I'm basically at the top. I'm not active on YouTube. Like, this is my first video after a long time now, but I would definitely be active on YouTube. So what has happened lately, I have succeeded quite well in my agency. I'm doing almost you can say about $1.5 million a year with my agency. I recently also became the youngest Porsche 911 owner in the entire country in India. A new 911, obviously. I bought a 911 Carrera S, and I bought that at 25 years old. And so nobody bought a new 911 younger than me in India. So I'm glad that I did something like that. And I have a lot of things to share with you in this video. Like, these type of things have purely come through my own experience. So this kind of knowledge is not on Google, or not on any other YouTube video, or not on ChatGPT and all that stuff. So I'm very excited to share with you this information. So first of all, you have to have this. You have to have the attention span. This is not like this is kind of the heavy lifting side of things, I feel like, in terms of the attention span. So if you don't have the attention span, you might as well just quit the video right now, because it wouldn't matter if you even watch it, because if you don't have an attention span, this video is not going to directly benefit you at all. So that is the thing. So if you can go through, you can sit through the boring things, then you will be rewarded because of that. Because that's how it works. Success, to get to a point, it's definitely, you have to, first step is, obviously, you have to have the attention span. Okay, so I have a few points. So first, let me tell you a little bit about my marketing agency, so just so you know, like, where I'm coming from. So number one thing is, I am basically, like, whatever I've done in my agency, I have actually done it like by myself. So the way I run my agency is not like how people do it, and that's why probably I have this kind of success what I have had over the years since I started, actually. So the main thing is that always remember, whatever information, like, simply you get very easily online, that information is usually, it's not that effective, is what I would say. So I started my agency when I was 16 years old, and it changed my life. Nobody in India has changed their life at this age ever. Can you imagine? Nobody in India has changed their life so much as I have. So just so you know. So that's why these things which I have to say to you, and these things which I have to teach to you, are very important. Okay, very important, because I have, when I started, like, I was broke. I'm from a lower middle class family, that too an SC family, by the way. For those of you who know about this casteism thing in India. And yeah, I'm from an SC family, and I was broke, and I came across this business model that you can, help businesses in the US and you can make money. And I was like, it sounded so good to me at that time, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And that's how I started. And now I see myself, pretty much at the top of my age in the country. So I love it. It's just incredible. So let me tell you, so whatever I have done, it's from my own experience. Whatever I'm there to teach you, it's all from my experience. So it's gonna be great. So first is, you have to be humble, okay? Like, and I'm gonna get into like the specifics. Don't worry, I'm going to get into the specifics. But if the moment you skip this, any person who skips, see, for me, like, I'm just gonna put it just so that whoever needs help, like needs like the information, the knowledge, that's why I'm doing it. But the moment you skip any part of the video, it's just not gonna work for you. Like, that's what I'm saying. Because you have to, your brain, the way it works is the way I will say to you, that's how it needs to get planted in your mind. Like, if you skip, it doesn't get planted in the right way, the way at least it's meant to be. And then what happens is that basically, like, then it's of no use. So that's why. So the first thing what I would like to say here is, you have to be humble. I'll tell you why. So obviously, I also by the way, read the Bible quite a bit. Like, God has changed my life, to be honest with you. And maybe in the coming videos, I will be also sharing with you about God. It's the very important element, I would say. Like, the core pillar actually of life is following God. But I won't say about that on this video. But in the Bible, it is written, he who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. So the thing is, I'll tell you, whenever I go out, like, now I'm like 25 years old. Actually, I just turned 26, so now I'm 26 years old. Even when I started making money, like when I was, let's say, 16, 17 years old, I was automatically, even in just 1 year of running my own agency, I was already at a level that I was basically above every person who is doing a job at least. Now I am at the top. Now I am in a way that I am making, like, I can buy a house in India like every month, literally. Can you imagine? Every month. Or let's say if I want to buy a luxury house, I can buy, let's say, in every 2-3 months. Like, so that's a pretty ridiculous amount of money, but the thing is, this sense, I got this sense of, like, whenever I used to go out, like, why are these people doing what they're doing, and the main thing is, it's narcissism. Like, could you imagine that if I tell you that people are narcissistic, people who do a job, who are having a salary of, let's say, 20,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees or even 50, whatever, if you are not, see, if you are happy with your life, if you're happy with, the amount of money you're making, it's great. But if you're not happy, and if you think you know it, you don't know it. You just don't know it. That's what I would like to say. So be humble. If you want to learn, a person who cannot be humble will not succeed. He cannot learn, and it just doesn't work. All these things won't matter, what I'm telling you. So the main thing what I would like to say, every single person, whatever they are doing in their life, and if they're unhappy with it, they are narcissistic, because they are delusional. They are thinking they're wasting away their life, like being in this delusion that they think that they know everything and they are doing the right thing. I can assure you, like, and if you are that person, you are not doing that thing. You are not right. Okay, you are not right. If you are right, you should, like, the way, if your worldview is right and you are right and your decisions are right, you should be happy with where you are. And if you're not happy with where you are, if you don't have the things what you want, or you don't have the income level what you want, your worldview is wrong. So you have to be humble and know that there are people who are living the life or way greater than you. So know that, because once I was humble, like, there were client calls, by the way, in 2016, like, when I started, like, literally there was a client call, like, almost every day, like at 4 a.m. So I used to sleep at like 1 a.m. or 12 a.m. Then I used to literally have an alarm at 4 a.m. Can you imagine? Like, I used to then wake up at 4 a.m. and do that client call, and then again sleep at around 5 a.m. And then again probably like I had another meeting at 8 a.m. and something. So it really messed up my sleep routine at that time. But yeah, like, and my friends know it, by the way. I'm not lying. I mean, you can ask my society friends. I was always seen on the ground. I used to not, because like my house was like very small, like 1 BHK house. So like the voice used to like just I echo, like I couldn't do the sales call. So I used to go out like downstairs and take those calls. So that's the kind of humility. Because if I confidently say what I have achieved, that doesn't mean it's narcissism, by the way. Okay, so know this one important thing what I would like to convey. This is the very important thing. Before that, I cannot teach you and you will not learn. Even if you see this video, even if you skip further in the video, you will not learn what I have to say. So first learn that you have to be humble. And what is even humility? Humility is two things in this instance. First is know that as I said, if you're not at where you want to be, you're in the completely wrong system altogether. For example, I mean, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I want to make sure that I properly help somebody. So like so for example, if you're doing a job, or if you're in an MLM, or if you're doing like like for example, people in MLM, man, they are brainwashed. Can you imagine? Like, I have worked closely with MLM people, and I can assure you, like, people in MLM are brainwashed to a degree that they think that success only means this, like, and see. So if you're brainwashed either way, like if you're brainwashed in a way that how the society has brainwashed you, then like I don't have anything to say on it, because then you're just not going to achieve what you want to achieve, like. But if you want to achieve, you have to believe in the things which you did not believe earlier. It's as simple as that. To achieve, you have to believe on the things what you have not believed before. It's as simple as that. So because I believe in the things which the other people don't believe in, I have faith, and that's how I did it. So the first point what I would like to say here is, whatever you are doing in life, and if you are not like, if you're not if you're just not at that level where you want to be, you should immediately quit that thing and do something which will actually get you to what you want to be at. Okay, that is the number one thing what I would like to say. So it's all comes under humility, by the way. It all comes under humility. If you don't have the humility, you're not going to succeed, because you are not going to change what you're doing. Like, you will not change. I had nothing to lose when I started. When I started in 2016, I had nothing to lose. Like I was a 16-year-old guy, and like I dropped out in 11th standard. I was in Wadia College here in Pune, and I dropped out, and yeah, like, it was like the best decision of my life, because it led my brain to not further get brainwashed, and then I put that time into real mentors who helped me. Like I started reading those books, like Think and Grow Rich. It's a life-changing book, man. Like, if you don't desire, you're just not going to do it. If you don't have the desire, you're just not going to do it. Like, that's what I'm saying. So know where it stems from. Like, know that where it all starts, because if you don't know these things, like, nothing will work. Nothing will work if you don't know these things. Okay, so whatever you are doing, if you think that's the best possible thing you're doing in life, then you will be at that level. I can 1000% guarantee you that. Where you think whatever you are doing in life, you think that you are doing the best, and you are the best somehow, and you're doing like hardly 1 lakh a month or 2 lakhs a month, and you think that you are, and if you're happy, great. If you're happy, I was never happy at 2 lakhs a month. If you're happy, then it's good. I don't have anything negative to say against you. I feel I don't have anything wrong to say against you in that case. But if you're not happy, and if you're not making the money you want to make, you have to completely change, and or probably stop what you need to do, because they're like you. And another thing, how I get to know like how much people are narcissistic. people who know me personally, they can see me every day, like I'm in my Porsche 911, and I'm like every day, like literally every day, either in my BMW i4, and I have, by the way, the India's only Sao Paulo yellow BMW i4. It's one of one, by the way. So yeah, they see me enjoying life, and I mean, I have many investments, and it's good. Like I love it definitely. But if somebody knows me personally and does not reach out to me that how to make money, I already know that guy or that person is 100% narcissistic. Because if you have ego, like if you know me personally and if you don't reach out to me that how should I make money, like I'm doing this, do you think you can help me in this? Because I have so many avenues of work which I can actually share with you, which could be life changing for you, but that's just 100% pride, man. Like that's 100% pride. If you know me personally and if you don't message me that can you help me to make money, that's 100% pride, so that's what I would like to say. So focus primarily on the areas of your life, in wealth at least, and how much you have narcissism in. Okay, so that is the one thing. So I can say a lot on that, but let me move on to the next point. Next point is you have to set a goal. So now let's say you want to like do the right thing, like which actually makes money. Look at people, like for example, in terms of speed, like who has beaten me, like, or whatever, like who has beat me in speed in terms of making authentic money, like I don't know anybody, sustainably. Like I don't know anybody who has at my age who has actually, without taking any funding and without going anything, has like surpassed me at my age in the entire country. I love it, and that's why you can't see anybody own a Porsche 911 or anything. So I don't want to prove further on that, but by the way, these all things are very important to say in these types of videos, by the way. So next is set a goal. Okay, so set a goal. So what do I mean by setting a goal? You could say I want to make like $1 million, like, or like $100,000, or like 1 crore, or and all that things, like, and while that looks good, but you should not set goals in that way. Okay, like first set a goal of like the next possible goal is what you have to set usually, like, so for example, making like getting the first client, right? Like getting a one client. If you think that you are so stupid enough that you can't even get one client, then I mean you should stop this video, like, and you are too weak, to be honest. And if you're a man and you are weak, it's shame on you, man. Like if you really have to be strong. If you're a man, you have to be strong emotionally. You have to not fear. You should not have the fear of failure, because if you have fear of failure when you are zero, then how much more you'll have fear of failing when you achieve something. You'll then fear losing whatever you achieved, so all these things, like always remember, to get to this level. And you can Google how much my company is worth as of today. Like you can just Google my agency's net worth, by the way. So to get to this level, you need a lot of things. And the reason is, and why you need a lot of things is because if you wouldn't have, like, if there are not these intangible things which you need, which are needed, you would have seen so many people succeed. Why are not so many people succeeding? Because of all these things, like, so. But I'm telling you, marketing agency is a very simple thing, so I'll tell you, like, it's very simple actually, because and I can only tell you what changed my life, so I can only tell you what changed my life. So marketing agency is what changed my life. So how to set a goal in a way that you are at least, let's say 1 lakh a month, or 2 lakh a month, or 3 lakh a month, which is very achievable in the, let's say, in the initial 1 month or 2 months, like that. It's very achievable and it's life changing. Can you imagine? People do degrees for like 7 years, 8 years for just making 1 lakh a month or 2 lakhs a month, and that degree and that job is also not guaranteed. Can you imagine? If you spend money for 7 years or 8 years and you are not, you're making 1 lakh a month or 2 lakhs a month, I mean, Imagine what will happen if you spend 7-8 years instead in something like that. I have just spent a little over like 8 years now. This is, I think, my 9th year in the business. So I have only spent like literally that kind of time. It has been my entire career so far. Can you imagine? And it is like more than, like, every year I make more than people's lifetime income, like business owners' lifetime income. And I love that. I love to say it confidently. If it pisses people off, then it's good. It should piss you off. And the fact that it pisses you off is the pride in you that gets you pissed off on it, because if you are not at that level, and if somebody is at that level, that means you should have done it. You should have been humble and learned from somebody who could help you from it. And in India, like, I think I'm the only one who actually is able to help people in the right way. I wouldn't even say that like very humbly, that there might be people and all. No, the results wise, I have helped a lot of people, in the right way and successfully. So that's the thing. So yeah, so next point is, let me now get a little bit deeper into the conversation, into this subject, is value versus convincing. Okay, now, and I will get more deeper, by the way. Okay, like, and more like specific as I talk more in it. So value versus convincing. So what is value versus convincing? So so let's say if you start a marketing agency and you think that how should I get clients, right? How should I get clients? Like, that's the number one, because I have for many years I have also taught people, right? Like, since this lockdown thing started in 2020, like, I was like, no, I actually started late 2020 or early 2021 in that. And yeah, like, people, the number one question is how to get clients. Okay, that's the number one question. And I'll tell you, so the number one, it's not how it works, like what you think it works. Okay, the way it works, that's not how it works, man. Like, so let me properly first answer you this question, because this is where it is like about value versus convincing. You only want to know how to convince people when you don't have any value. If you don't have anything valuable, then you will rely primarily on what? You will primarily rely on these sleazy sales tactics, or like these the persuasion. While that is also true, you don't have to be like an idiot at it. You don't have to be like very dumb at selling and all that stuff. But I'm saying that it's not about that at all. It's not at all. In fact, even if you're very idiotic about it, you will still be able to succeed. Can you imagine it? I would like to say it in that kind of way. Like, it's that polarizing, to be honest with you. So value versus convincing. So what I mean by value versus convincing is that, for example, see that, as I said, a lot of people said to me that like, Pratham, like, how to get clients, how should I get clients? How to get clients is not the right question to ask if you want to start a marketing agency. The reason is this: because you think that just because you get this ability, let's say, or this system, that this, or a way of talking with potential clients, let's say, is you automatically have a functioning marketing agency, or how the process works. It's not that's not how it works. The main thing what I would like to say, if you think that automatically by knowing how to approach people, how to approach clients in the US, what's the best strategy to get clients, like, who will pay you like $2,000 and $1,500 per month and all that stuff. If you think that knowing that is going to, like, actually get you that, it's not that way at all whatsoever. So, and that's why, if you see whatever I'm saying here, and this whole video is not the kind of video you will see on YouTube, and especially not the way you see it, because it will be, everybody on YouTube is just blind leading the blind, and that's the most pathetic way of doing it. And that's where those people involve themselves into the 99%, and it's all about, they just basically are doing like, whatever the other person is doing, I will just make a similar video like that, so that's how it works. So let me tell you a little bit about this value versus convincing thing. Okay, so the reason you would not be able to get any clients if you only know like how to get clients, or what's the way, like is it called DMing people, is it called emailing people, or is it like do anything, man, like LinkedIn outreach, or all these things are there, like so many things are there, cold calling is there, all these things are there. It's not about that, it's not at all about that, it's not at all. So let me tell you how it works. So number one thing, and if you could potentially take notes, by the way, you can potentially take notes from this video. It's very important, I can assure you. This is the kind of mindset you require if you want to succeed, like, because it's not even about that you're fooling yourself into it. This is the reality. So let me tell you with an example. So for example, let's say you have a piece of gold. Okay, like let's say you had a piece of gold with you. If you had a piece of gold, you don't need to really like learn how to sell. Do you understand? You don't need to learn how to sell. You don't need to like learn or get a book on persuasion, or like learn what's the best way to open up conversations and what's the best way to speak with people and all those things. You don't have to do that. If you have a piece of gold, you can just, and if you require money, you can just walk down to a jewelry store, and basically like you can just redeem it for money. You can sell it at that and they will give you money. Do you think you require sales skills for that? No. So do you see what I'm saying here? Unless you don't have anything valuable to provide, real value I'm talking about, real value, unless you don't have anything of real value to provide, no matter how much good you get at selling, you will still be broke, or you would just, maybe you will be just getting by. The month is like you make in a month like whatever money you want to make, and then you basically it's just your ends meet basically, like it's not like the Lamborghini level money, or like that. It's not the property income, like you cannot be a property investor with that, so that's what I would like to say. So know this one thing is that if you want to make money, you have to learn one thing, is that you have to know how do you actually first get to a point that you can create value. Unless you don't do that, you are not going to succeed. I can guarantee you that. It's not about, you are not fooling people. Don't think that like service industry is like fooling people or anything like that. You can't, like, it's like people are paying you like every single month. Can you imagine? January the client paid you, let's say $2,000. February the client paid you again, let's say $2,000, whatever the recurring would be, $2,000, $1,500. So every single month the client is paying you the money. So you are not like making money by fooling people, first of all. And the people who think that, they cannot succeed. They cannot succeed. So remember one thing is that in terms of this subject which I said to you, this point, which is value versus convincing, you have to know that the greater to have a great success, you have to have a great value. That's very basic, and this video is going to be towards the, so that the foundations first, because the people think that you just ask ChatGPT what it is and you will. So it's been so many years ChatGPT is there, and I'm the only Porsche 911 owner at 25 years old. Why? And I didn't buy a used and all like these YouTubers who have bought in India. I'm talking about new 911, and by the time somebody buys that car, I would have something else. Like I am pretty competitive in that. If you create something of value, okay, if you have something of value, you don't have to worry about the tomorrow. You don't have to worry about how you're gonna make money. If you automatically know, like for example, if you had, let's say, gold worth, for example, if you had gold worth 50 lakh rupees with you, you wouldn't like, and if you had your bank balance, let's say only 50,000 rupees, or let's say 1 lakh rupees, you wouldn't be that worried. Can you see? You wouldn't be that worried. Because if you have gold worth 50 lakh with you, but your bank balance is only 1 lakh rupees, you wouldn't be worried because you have the gold with you. You see? So that's the same thing when you are having a company. It's even greater than gold actually, in a way. It's like how much your company is valued at, obviously. So know this one thing, how do you then have value? Like, how do you create the value? Like, how do you come to a point from scratch that you own something which is valuable? Okay, so how that works, let me tell you. So it's all about basically whatever your service delivery is, because your service delivery is all your values, to be honest with you. Like, if you're really good at, if you're really good at doing the service delivery, if you're really good at, like getting the clients the results, or providing them the right possible service, not like the way other people provide. Now I'll tell you one more thing, because I know so many agencies in India, like literally, and everybody is failing miserably, is because they just don't know how to do it the right way. Like, a lot of people have figured out really crazy ways of convincing people, or like very, very unique ways of trying to get clients, but they just fail at doing the service. They just fail at the service delivery, and that is what I'm telling you. Like, whatever you have bought, for example, in life, like for example the phone you use, like for example, like I have this iPhone and I have a Samsung as well. Why do I have the Samsung and an iPhone? Is because Apple and Samsung are the top companies in the world. They produce the best possible phone. You wouldn't use a shitty phone, right? You would not use a shitty phone. You wouldn't use a horrible product. If you look at it, like the clothes you wear, whatever you have bought, it's literally a good product. Unless it was not a good product, you would not have bought it. Like, did somebody come to you and sell you a shitty product? It's not that how it's not how humans make decisions, or it's not how humans make purchase decisions. Okay, so know that one thing. Unless your service delivery is not the way it needs to be, you're not gonna get to the level you want to be. Okay, and I'll simplify the things, and it's very simple, by the way. It's not that difficult, because I have mapped it out. But now I have this map after after many years of experience. I'm able to create this for you, is because I've spent those years. Like, this is my 9th year in the business, as I said to you, and because I've spent that much of time, that's why I can map this out for you. So let me tell you, how do you create the value? As I said, you have to have the right service delivery. If you don't have the right service delivery, and I'll tell you about how you can have, because I know you're a beginner, how you can have the right possible service delivery in the right way, I'll tell you. So I'll move on to the next point now. So you got what I'm saying, right? So the main thing is that if you if you did not have value, you would rely on convincing. If you had value, you would not rely on convincing. You don't need to beg to people for becoming your client and all that. Do you think like I beg to people like to get clients? No, not at all. In fact, like if you ask my employees, like, and a lot of you guys know my agency's manager, you can ask him like whether people come to me, like whether the clients come to me or I go after the clients, like, because my name in the industry has become so good that it's like the other way around now, like it's inbound. But yeah, so let me tell you. So next is, let me give you the next, let me move on to the next point, because I don't want to have this video very long. So now the next point is, what is a marketing agency? Okay, so what is a marketing agency? And it's very different how people think is for me it's very different, because like other people, I don't know what they do, like, and they just somehow just end up failing at it, and I end up succeeding at it. And that's why this video is so valuable, is because what I have to say is very valuable because I have succeeded always, whatever I've done in like so many years in different types of service within my agency and everything. So yeah, what is a marketing agency? A marketing agency is a business which you run. How it works is, you're in India, the client is in the US, and what you do is, the client cannot afford services from US people, because they charge huge amounts of money. Like, if the client will be like, let's say the client is willing to pay you $2,000 in the US, he would get charged at least $5,000 to $8,000 for the same thing, like for the same type of service. So the best thing is, because you are living in India, like I live here in Pune in India, so because I live in India, like I am able to basically like start this company, like have this company running, where I'm able to pay the employees hardly like 30,000 rupees a month and 35,000 rupees a month, and I'm getting from clients, I'm getting per month like $2,000 or at least $1,500. You see what I'm talking about? But if it was for in the US, it would have been completely different, like for like businesses in the US. And there are, I mean, obviously very few people, like if you look at from the top to bottom, like in any given country, like very few people are billionaire level, and then there are like the people who are like at $100 million level and all that stuff. But if you look at the majority of businesses in the US are obviously like people who are doing like around $500,000 a year, maybe $300K a year, and they like a $3,000 difference per month would be huge for them. A $3,000 a month difference would be huge. So I mean, if in the US it was $5,000, and for you, like they're able to give you like $2,000 or even $1,500, for them that difference is huge. And that is where this opportunity is, because so many people in India don't have jobs. So many people in India, they just don't have jobs. So you are just connecting it in the right possible way. Like people in the US want to hire, but they don't want to pay extreme amount of money. So what you do is you're from India, and nowadays it has been even more profound, to be honest with you, because like it's very easy to get clients, like because in India, like you are able to basically you have the cheap labor. But imagine if you were not in India, if you were in the US, it becomes comparatively much more difficult, because if you were in the US, you have to pay huge amount of money. You can't be like you can't pay 35,000 rupees per month for an employee. Like per employee compensation would be like in the thousands of dollars in the US. Okay, so that's the best. That's what it actually makes this business like really really profound, to be honest with you. Because of this, because we are in India and the labor is cheap, you can train people, and I'll tell you like more a little bit. I'll tell you how that works as well. But so that's what is a marketing agency. You are providing services to the business owners in the US, and you're charging this amount, like this money for them, from them, $2,000 a month, stuff like that. And then what services you provide. Now there are many services what you can provide, but I have my own personal favorites, because for a reason. So a lot of people do this social media handling and all that stuff. Social media handling is more like an employee's work, to be honest with you. Like social media handling is more of an employee does that. Like employee of that company or of that business particularly, usually they get to do those things. But I would not suggest like that handling social media, that you're posting content for them and all that stuff. I would not suggest you that. What I would suggest you is doing Facebook ads or Instagram ads for these people. These platforms make the money, like primarily these platforms make money from ads. Can you imagine? Like the famous quote, right? Senator, we run ads, So these companies, like let's say Meta or YouTube, these companies make their primarily they make money from ads. Can you imagine? Primarily they make money from ads. So know this one thing first, okay? Like Google, how does Google make money? Ads. People, business owners pay Google money to pay to do ads, to basically not to do ads, to show ads. There's then this, you are the person who will be like doing the ads, basically. You see, like the person who actually does it in the way it's supposed to be done, with the right skill level, because it's not always respect skill level, by the way. Never disrespect the skill level in any given work. Always know that the kind of skill level requires to actually get a ad converting, to get an ad to convert. Okay, so always remember, it's a huge skill level is needed for that. And I know that you are not skillful, maybe you're a beginner, but there's a proper way which I have written down here, which I'm just sharing with you in a moment. So that's how the business model works. So the client is in the US, he will pay you X amount of money per month to handle their ads for them, or build the ads from scratch. And they will be providing you the content or anything, like any video you require, any photo you require for that, they will be providing you that. the creatives basically, they will be providing you that, and your job is to basically write the copy of the ad, the targeting, and basically like the amount of number of campaigns, and like there's many things involved in that basically. But it's not a very time intensive work, by the way. It takes less than 1 hour or 2 hours to do it. Let's usually around less than 2 hours, let's say. But the moment you do it, the power of that is huge. The power of that is huge, because it just takes 2 hours, but its impact is huge. The conversion, the kind of money is pulled from which is being pulled from it is huge. Okay, so know that it's so that's how it works. So that is what is running a marketing agency. Okay, what is running a marketing agency is you are providing them the service, and 99% of the marketing agencies don't want to focus on the service delivery, by the way. Okay, so remember, it's this is how it works. So the next point is, what do you require to start a marketing agency? Okay, so you need a few things, obviously. To start a marketing agency, you need to know what are the things, how it works, what is the structure of it. So first of all, in terms of what you need to know is, you need a very good service delivery. Okay, you need to know that you need to be equipped with that, primarily speaking, because you can't, I don't recommend that approach that you are a nobody, you're a complete beginner, and you have never done an ad in your life, and you want to somehow just provide it for a client in the US. And I have a solution for you, which I'm going to tell you in this video, so don't worry about it. But that's the approach which will get you in that underconfident realm. It will basically, you'll be you'll not get that confident from the inside, because you have never done it before, right? So because you have not done it before, then you'll not get the confidence, and because you will not get the confidence, you would not want to do it. So you need a very good service delivery. That is one thing, and I'll give you the exact solution, don't worry. You need a very good service delivery, and because as I said, if you don't have the right service delivery, nobody is going to appreciate you, man. Nobody in the world is going to appreciate you if you can't do what you can do. Nobody is gonna appreciate you. That's what I would say. Nobody is gonna stick with you. Nobody is gonna keep paying you if you're not good at what you do. It's as simple as that. Second is, you need a very good sales system. Okay, you need a very good sales system. Only two things. Okay, in terms of what are the requirements, apart from those basic things that this the business registration and all that stuff. The CA will tell you what are the documents you require, what are the things you need for those business registrations, the business registration thing, and all those things basically. But what do you actually require to start a marketing agency, apart from those basic stuff, you need a payment gateway and all that stuff? That's all very basic, but I'm telling you what are the actual things which you require. Okay, actual things, only two things you require. First, you need a very good service delivery, and second, you need a very good sales system. That's it. You need a system which is good, which is getting you the clients continuously, regularly. And next is, you need a service delivery, which is basically being able to get the clients the right service what they need. Okay, this is how it works, getting them the right results and getting you the clients. That's it. A sales system and a service delivery, a good service delivery and a good system of that you are able to continuously get clients. That's it. So what would be my recommendation to you? My recommendation to you would be, what you should do instead is, you should, rather than becoming a skillful person, trying to become a skillful person, because if you are okay with the timeline to become a skillful person, you should. But rather than becoming a skillful person, what if you can, if you just use these people? I would recommend you should use the people who are skilled to work for you. That's the best thing what you can do. And if you want my help, I could literally give you skillful people myself. If you want, I have this new program known as Faceless Agency, by the way, and it's not a course. There's not even there's no videos It's not like that. It's one-on-one coaching, and it's the world's best system. How it works is that in the Faceless Agency program, it's a 45 days one-on-one coaching. Plus what I do in that is I give you employees from my side. Like, so I give you trained employees who can work for you, who will become your employees. So trained employees who have spent already years into it, who will become your employees, and you just have to pay them their commission. And if you want to know more about it, you can just message me Faceless. I'll send you a proper explanatory video. I can provide you basically the US based sales closer. So the best thing is that I would be able to provide you a US based sales closer, not an Indian closer, but a US based sales closer, an appointment setter, an Indian appointment setter, and an Indian person who can basically take care of the right service delivery. Highly skilled people, and it's life changing. So all you have to do is you just have to you would be just managing these 3 people, and all these 3 people would be doing all your work. Can you imagine? This is the system which I have created. You don't even have to show your face online. Can you imagine? You don't even have to click a picture of yours, and you don't have to post content on social media. You don't have to do none of that, and you can still get your agency to $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month, any kind of level you want to be at. I can help you to get to, like, if you want, this is the way, is the best possible way, is what I would recommend to you. If you want to know more about how the Faceless Agency system works, you can message me Faceless on Instagram, and I'll send you a link of a lesson where you can just, a explanatory video where where I have explained properly how the Faceless Agency system works. So it's a 2-hour lesson, 2-hour explanatory video actually. So I'll send that over to you, the link of that lesson, for free. Don't worry. So just message me Faceless on Instagram, and I'll send that video to you. So you have to have the skills. Without the skills, you cannot succeed. But there is this loophole, or you can call it like a money glitch, honestly speaking, is where you can have Indian labor, cheap Indian labor who are highly skilled, who can work for you. That's the way to do it. I can assure you that, because I do it. I've been doing it since so many years now, and all IT companies in India do the same. So that's what I'm saying. So I would not recommend be a one person. And even if you were one person, let's imagine, even if you were skilled, you would be able to hit a limit. There's only so many clients you can work with. There's only, let's say, 10 clients or 12 clients or 15 clients. You will burn out. Imagine you were 10 out of 10 skilled. You would be let's say, one of the best in the world in terms of skill. You can do incredible ads, or you're really good at closing deals and all that stuff. Even if that was true, you could never leave your house. You would be the whole day you would be working. So I would not recommend you that anyways. That's what I'm telling you. My point is that and that's why this kind of stuff other people are not teaching about it, and it's quite funny, but that's what I'm telling you. Don't do these things. Don't try to become a skillful person, because you will not live that dream if you want to become if you even are a skillful person. See, for example, me, I did everything myself. I did the sales myself, I did the service delivery myself, and I grinded for years, and then I became good at it. But I would not, and still today I am very good at both the things, but I don't do both of the things. I neither do the service delivery, neither I do the sales. You see, that's what I'm talking about. So what I would recommend to you is, that's why you should not, if you want to run a company, run a business. If you want to run a business, run a business. Don't think of becoming the best in the world in skills, and then you will trade your hours for money. And then you will find yourself you're working 10 hours a day, and then and if you get married, then your wife starts hating on you. Your family starts to hate you because you don't spend time with your children, and if you have children, for example. So it's not, and you wouldn't like it yourself. To be honest with you, if you are extremely skilled, and only if you don't know how to, you don't have people to work for you, if you don't figure out the process this way, the way I suggested you to do it, you're gonna suffer. And that's what people, that's how people suffer. They lift the weight themselves and they get hurt, and what happens is then they have a negative impression about all things in life, like business and everything. So what I would recommend is, don't do it. Don't try to become skillful. Even if you, like, hypothetically speaking, even if you become 100% skillful, you would not have that lifestyle. At least that you would be doing the sales, and think from the end point, like think from the end goal itself. Like, let's say, because see, if you are at zero, even $5,000 will seem very great amount for you, but think of the end goal, man. Like, think of how you want to live your life. I never wanted to live my life in a way that I am just just doing the sales calls, or like doing just on my laptop. You'll never see me at a cafe or at an airport on a laptop. Never. If you will see me at an airport, I will be just chilling. I don't like that. You'll never see me like कि भाई मैं Starbucks में गया and I'm like drinking a coffee and I'm just working. I'm not a slave. I'm a business owner. The slaves work under me, and that's how it works. And if you want to become the owner rather than the slave, then those are the ways which I can teach you. Like, so that's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to learn how this system works properly, like, at least so I have given you a proper foundational overview of what you wanted to learn, at least in terms of how a marketing agency works, and I've covered like actually many points which I have covered till now. So yeah, so do that. You can message me Faceless on Instagram. I'll send you a 2-hour explanatory video on how it works. I provide a 45 days one-on-one coaching. I take hardly a handful of spots, a handful of people every month into it, and it's life-changing. It's literally life-changing. I can assure you that. I'm in this one-on-one coaching. I am there one-on-one on a Zoom call with you, on multiple Zoom calls, and on WhatsApp as well. And you get employees from my side who become your employees, and it's life changing, because your skills don't matter, your work ethic doesn't matter. This kind of thing nobody is providing. That's the best thing about it. So it's incredible. So just message me Faceless or Faceless Agency, something like that, in one word, like Faceless or Faceless Agency, on my Instagram. And yeah, from there you can, if you want to, like, because I only take a few spots, obviously, because it's one-on-one coaching, but you can message me on Instagram, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So I think I didn't miss pretty much anything. There will be more videos, obviously, so I can't have a huge video, obviously, like this alone. This video itself is quite big, I think so I hope you liked this video. If you liked, just let me know what you thought about this video in the comments. If you have any questions, you can message me. You can message me personally. I'm there to help you, like any questions you have regarding this, or you can comment how you liked this video or whatever. So yeah, guys, I'll see you on the next video then. Take care. Bye.